Hobby Quick Hits. Delivering that breaking hobby news directly to your earlobes. You want to know those hot drops from the card shop? We've got you covered. With your host, John Newman.
Welcome to another episode of Hobby Quick Hits. Today's topic, the sanctity of jerseys. And we're going to tackle the topic, a lot of people don't appreciate some of those vintage era players' jerseys being cut up for game use cards. You know, the old-time players, Ted Williams, Manos, my guy, Jackie Robinson, all that era. And even earlier, because they just didn't wear as many jerseys compared to today's game, and people don't want to see them put into jersey cards. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really give it much thought until I really started to hear about it more, and really thought about, in the grand scheme of things. And I'm someone that owns some of these cards, full disclosure. So I'm going to tackle that topic and what my thoughts are on it, and kind of, where we're at with that. Now, I don't know, if anything's going to change, but I know it's a topic of, it gets some people's ires that some of these jerseys are getting destroyed and not saved for historical purposes. So we're going to go over the new releases, some of the hobby news, Q&A, and then we'll tackle that subject head on. Time for this week's incoming product releases. All right, real quiet week in terms of releases. Only a few items starting on March 2nd. We have 2021-22 Upper Deck Series 1 Hockey. On the 3rd, we have 2021 Leaf Draft Baseball Hobby. Then on the 4th, we have 2021 Topps WWE Women's Division. And then on the 8th, we have 2021 Pro Set Baseball Hobby. So only about 4 or 5 items this week. Again, with what's going on with delays and production issues, those are all tentative, but, it could be pushed back or delayed. But that's what's on the docket for this week. Happy ripping.
Answer my question! The question!
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
Today's question comes by way of IG from Chives Cards, and he or she asks, John, I know Jackie Robinson's your guy, but do you have any guys like that in football? And I do. I thought I mentioned it previously, but maybe not as much as Jackie. But Mean Joe Green is my football guy. Collect some Steelers, and just in general, whenever I pull any kind of Steeler inserts or, rookies. I collect like Steeler rookies of their superstars. And then the other guy is Floyd Little. Just rookies and autos of Floyd Little. Not all his cards, just rookies and autos. He's passed away, unfortunately, but from being here in Syracuse and coaching high school football and being a Syracuse University ticket holder, I've gotten to meet him on many different times. He's even been to some of our football practices. He's talked to the team, and so I got to know the man, Floyd Little, a little bit more than most would. And so Floyd Little, rookies, autos, Mean Joe Green, Steeler rookies, and that's probably the crux of it. It's time for the Hobby What's Up, where we go around the hobby world and tell you all the latest news and breaking stories from the hobby we love.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Most people recognize that tune as the theme song to The Sopranos. Where did The Sopranos take place? New Jersey. Who's going to New Jersey? PSA. PSA has rented a 130,000 square foot facility in Jersey City, New Jersey. Won't officially be open until 2023, but there will be some staff there this year, and they're going to grade cards there. What will that mean for the backlog? Yeah, that's the $1 million question. I get asked all the time, well, do you think they'll ever go down to that value level of around 20-25 bucks? I don't know, but they got to get caught up first. So my thoughts on this, being an East Coast guy, it probably makes sense. Will it help the backlog? I like to think so. And, how that works is, where do you send your cards to? If you live on the East Coast, do you send it to the East Coast PSA, or do you send it to, West Coast? I don't know all the answers to that. Is the New Jersey facility only going to be doing certain things? I think that remains to be seen. So, they've opened up another facility, and we'll see what that means to some of the pratfalls that they find themselves in. Speaking of new facilities, GTS Distribution has a new one, this one overseas in Dublin, Dublin, Ireland. It will be servicing, Europe as far as the releases there. Also, a third-party logistics location in Germany has also opened up. The GTS Distribution already has 9 locations in the United States. So now we have one, or they have one, I should say, in Dublin, and a logistics place in Germany. Another theme, that's the Canadian National Hockey Night in Canada theme. Well, it was National Hockey Card Day Saturday, put on by Upper Deck to sponsored LCSs. On the Canadian side, it's a 15-card Canadian set. On the U.S. side, it's a 15-card U.S. set for a total of 30 different cards. Also, if you spend $10, you get a special 16th card on each side. So it's a great, we have National Baseball Card Day, but we also have National Hockey Card Day. So get those while supply lasts. And I think it's kind of cool how they're doing both, the Canadian version and the American version. And that way, those that live in each of those countries can kind of trade to acquire all 32 of those cards. We had Chris Carlin on Hobby Hotline, and he mentioned that as possibly as early as next year, there might be even a European version on National Hockey Card Day. So we'll see if that comes to fruition in 2023. Tops/Fanatics, I guess we'll say, has held their industry conference in Arizona. Usually this event is to showcase what's coming the upcoming year, and kind of to talk about Topps' goals and plans for the upcoming sports card and non-sport card year. So early, no reports just yet, but if anything of significance comes from that, I'm sure it will make one of the 2 shows that we do here.
Hits it high and deep and gone! Home run! Broncos first of the big leagues will tie this game.
Well, you knew the day was coming that there'd be a Wander Franco living set as part of that release. Well, that day is here. I think when this is out, maybe at the deadline, or you may have just missed it if you're just learning about it through my voice here. But yep, the living set, finally the Wander Franco living set rookie. Full disclosure, I bought 30 of them. I realize it's going to be a high printed card with a lot of demand. It's obviously how many people order it they'll print it. So I expect that number to be high, but I do have some that are already sold. Someone else wanted to sort of get in on my order, but I wound up ordering 30 of those. And, if he's everything he's supposed to be cracked up to be, that card being something that you can't pull out of a pack, it will be a desirable card. And I think some cards, no matter how much is printed, unless it's 99K, like the Keith Shore Griffey Jr. Project 2020 card, I don't foresee that, but you never know. Be theme song day here at Hobby Quick Hits, but that is the 1967 theme song of the New Jersey Americans of the ABA, the American Basketball Association. Speaking of the ABA, the Dropping Dimes Foundation, a great charity, with the help of Lana Sports, is doing 10 card ABA Legends packs. The 10 card packs contain a stick of gum, so it's a throwback with a real stick of gum in there. Packs are $19.99 each. Again, 10 cards, all painted legends of the ABA, and 1 out of every 6 packs will have an autograph card in it, and it's a 30 card set. So if you buy 3 packs and your collation's good, you potentially can have a set. So they also include the gum as a throwback edition, and the money goes to where else? Charity in the Dropping Dimes Foundation. So there you go. Great cause and a great tribute to some of those great legends of that basketball league.
And now, our feature presentation.
Time for another episode of Hobby Quick Hits. Today's episode is titled The Sanctity of the Game. What do I mean by that title? We see a lot. We're going to talk about game use cards, with game use or event worn. Mostly game use with what we're going to talk about, cards, especially when it comes to vintage era players, right? Some people, and I'm really starting to lean that way myself, kind of hate to see those jerseys of the past cut up into thousands of pieces for game use cards. And I own some of them. So let's, full disclosure, I'm going to talk about that. Some people are totally against them. I really just start thinking about it recently, and looking at some of the ones that I have, knowing that, a piece of the past history had to be, in a sense, destroyed to produce that card. My thought, really deep dive in it. So we'll get into that after we hear from our great sponsors, Mojo Breaks. Be right back after that. Hey folks, wanted to tell you about the best place to get some of your sealed sports card wax products. Great selection and some of the lowest prices on the web. MojoBreakShop.com is that place. Whether it's a box or a whole case, they're your guys, and they ship around the world right to your door. The Mojo Break name is one of the most trusted in the hobby. From sports cards to Pokemon, their selection can't be beat. They offer daily deals and pre-orders. Who won first place at this year's Topps Rip Party? None other than Mojo Break. Their prices are already great, but here's a way to save even more money. Use the code QUICKHITS, that's QUICKHITS, for 10% off anything on MojoBreakShop.com. They also have a full-service card shop in Santa Clara, California. So if you're in the area, stop by. They're open 7 days a week, so check them out at MojoBreakShop.com. All right, so I've been asked every once in a while, my thoughts on this topic that we're going to dive into today. And I know I do that question segment on Sports Card Nation where I take a question, but this is a question that I can't answer in just a couple minutes. We have to really deep dive it and kind of talk about it. So it's getting its own show here on the Hobby Quick Hits side of the house. And so, first off, when we, everyone, I don't want to say everyone, but most people enjoy the thrill of pulling a jersey card out of a product, whatever product that might be. It could be a baseline model product like opening day, or definitely a high-end product like a National Treasures, Luminaries, Diamond Icons, Flawless, seeing who that jersey card is and being a superstar player or a Hall of Famer, retired player. We all love it, right? We always obviously hope it's a multicolored patch. We don't always get what we want, but that's what you always hope and wish for. This is not going to talk about. This is not a show that's going to be about event worn versus game worn. That's a topic for another day. This is just about sort of those that say, like, we shouldn't have, Mickey Mantle jersey cards, Jackie Robinson jersey cards, Ted Williams, that sort of thing, because part of the history of the game had to be destroyed and to make and have those cards produced. So I wanted to tackle that, and what really kind of made me think about it too is I have an acrylic case here that spins around on my desk, and inside that there's about 3 or 4 Jackie Robinson game worn jersey cards in there. Some are very low numbered, some have more than one color on them. And I love them. As someone who, basically Jackie Robinson's one of my sports idol, to have something that I know he wore while, fielding a ground ball, while, hitting a base hit and stretching it into a double, all those things, sliding and maybe stealing home with that jersey on. And part of that's now here in the Syracuse, New York area in my office, right? When you think about it, on that base level, it's just so cool, right, to have a part of history on my desk. But then when you really think about it, I think, that's one less jersey that could be on display in the Hall of Fame. That's one less jersey, heck, let's be honest, that could be in someone's personal game-used jersey collection intact, right? To make these jersey cards, I'm using Jackie Robinson because that's my guy, right? It might be Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, whoever, Harmon Killebrew, those guys of that era. And that's just baseball. We can even talk about other sports. I've seen Jim Brown game-used cards, right? Gale Sayers, hockey cards of guys of yesteryear, basketball of the greats and legends of the past, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, and so on and so forth. And to make these jersey cards of all these guys and even others, obviously, I didn't name, you have to have an intact full jersey, and it has to be, in a sense, destroyed to produce these numerous game-use cards. And while they're, no doubt fun to own, fun to pull, if you're so fortunate, when you really think about there's one less jersey that could be intact out there to honor that past in the history of the past, it sort of makes me feel a little sad, makes me feel a little bad. Now listen, I enjoy looking at those Jackie Robinson I aforementioned, and I'm not, just going to throw them out and be mad, but there is that, thought that, a jersey piece of history had to be cut up to produce that card or cards. And I thought about it, and here's what really made me think about it. Today's age in sports, right? Players, regardless of sport, where I read an article where an average player goes through or uses between 30 and 50 game jerseys, and some even more, in the course of 1 year. We see them exchange them with other players depending on the sport after the game. I know that's a big thing in football. Players will exchange jerseys. So they go through 30 to 50, if not more, jerseys a year. Well, if you know anything about the past, and I look into this stuff, and just being my age, I've always kind of had an interest. That, especially with baseball, generally players from the vintage era literally only wore about 4 uniforms per year. The article I read and doing some research said they went through 1 or 2 home and away jerseys each over the course of a season. And I'll go even further than that. Some players who really were partial to the uniform, maybe a little more superstitious or creatures of habit, I've read have used the uniform, barring a uniform change or a color scheme change or just new uniforms issued, use the same jersey sometimes in some cases over multiple years, 2, 3, even 4 years. So they weren't going through a lot of jerseys like today's players do. Didn't have, there was no Majestic and Nikes like we know today, Fanatics, and producing these jerseys at a clip or high rate. And so some players wore one or, a home and away for a couple years. And so there's not as many of these vintage era jerseys in play as the modern day and the ultra modern. And so when you think about it in those terms and the scarcity of intact jerseys, it's sort of sad to look. There's a part of me that looks at these Jackie Robinson cards, and I'm looking at them as I record this, and think, that was an intact jersey that's no longer intact. And, it's sort of sad in a way that there's one less. And, maybe Jackie Robinson, he didn't have a super long career, about 9 to 10 years. Maybe there's only, 20 to 25 jerseys. I don't know. I'm just speculating based on the averages, right? How many of those now are intact? If the number is 20 to 25 in between that, how many are intact? You can kind of search on eBay for Jackie Robinson jersey card, and a good amount, is going to come up. No shortage in terms of numbers of them. There might be short individually numbered cards, but you got plenty of options. So, and again, I know I keep using him because, that's my guy. There's other, obviously, Jarrett players in multiple sports and more in baseball. And so it really makes you think, as someone who lives close to the Hall of Fame, I'm an hour and 10 minutes away from it. That's one less Jackie Robinson jersey that the Hall of Fame could have on display to honor the career, for people to come to Cooperstown and pay their respects to a Hall of Fame player and Hall of Fame person. And I guess when I really look at it that way, would I give up? Could I live with giving up my Jackie Robinson jersey cards if it meant more intact jerseys? Yeah, I can. I got plenty of cards that I have, other regular Jackie Robinson cards that I enjoy just the same, if not more. So, I'm really, I guess the more I get older, or the more I really deep dive it, I kind of see now what some people were saying all along. I kind of been swayed. We can change our mind and change our stance and change our opinion. I think I kind of have. Again, as much fun as it is to own them, to open a pack or a box and get it, sure is fun. It does really sort of affect the history of the game a little bit. And as much as I love owning part of that history and having it on my desk, it's still sort of sad at the same time to know that something had to be destroyed to be for that to be. So I just thought I'd weigh in on that. So I've sort of did a 180, with that. Does that mean, with that being said, does that mean I won't, eBay search Jackie Robinson game used and see what's out there and maybe buy something? Yeah, I'm not, full disclosure, those cards have already been created, right? What I'd like to see maybe I'm biased because I have them now, is some of those vintage era jerseys not be destroyed anymore. Whatever's out there is out there. You can't, glue those pieces or stitch them all back together and put that jersey back together. But maybe from now on, kind of respect those pieces and keep them intact. I know a lot of the Mickey Mantle jersey cards you see, you can always tell. A lot of people say, man, this thing looks brand new. It's really bright white. The blue pinstripe is really blue. It's not sort of that vintage faded flannel with the lighter blue pinstripe that you can tell is from that era. And if you get a mantle like that, that's usually a lot of those mantles or cards like that are from Old Timers Day. Like, he wore it, but he wore it in like 1977 at Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium in that game, which was usually 3, 4, 5 inning exhibition and just for fun and that sort of thing. So is that really a game worn Mickey Mantle in an official game? No, but it was game worn. It was an Old Timers. But so I'm not so much talking about that. I'm talking about the official game worn stuff of players of yesteryear. It may be time to stop cutting those jerseys up and just to make those cards. So I've sort of changed my stance. What say you out there? I'd love to hear your opinion. Do you have the same sentiment, or do you think all was fair in love and war? Right? Cut them up. It is what it is. So which side of the aisle do you follow? All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Hobby Quick Hits. Thank you out there for listening. Please let me know, what do you think when it comes to the vintage era or the old-time player jersey cards and those original jerseys having to be cut up. You don't care either way. You don't want to see it, or you like it. And, I've had people tell me I won't buy those cards. As much as I'd like to own them, I won't buy them because I don't believe they should be made. So, what side of the aisle do you fall on? Let me know, and just curious to see kind of what the temperature is out there. I know this episode kind of was born from an adversarial position and people talking about it, but I just wonder, what the majority feels. So let me know if you can give us some feedback there. Well, that's going to do it. We'll see you next time on either Sports Car Nation or this show, Hobby Quick Hits. Take care and be well.